are Faye with Wytpods. We have a special guest with us today. We have Mark from Grzymala Law Offices. Mark, welcome. I'm so happy to have you with us today.
Good morning, Laura. It's great to be here today.
Yes, yes. I'm very eager to learn about you, so I'm just going to jump right into it. Can you
Sure.
share with me a little bit about yourself and your journey into law?
So, journey into law kind of started in high school when I was kind of going back and forth on what I wanted to do. My parents were a little bit of not a little bit, but they were a pretty big influence on me. I know also my decision to go into law also comes from a deep desire to help people solve their problems. I've always been a helpful person, so to speak.
Yeah.
But my parents, they were always they were successful small business owners. They owned different businesses. And I kind of like the whole concept of, being in control of like your own destiny and things. And again, combine that with helping people and also working with my parents in their small business. I was able to learn kind of the intricacies of how a small business works, even though I was still like in high school, college, relatively, still young and naive. I did learn what they need to do with respect to like marketing and how to manage employees, how to just generally manage the businesses itself. So it was a really good experience for me. So then when I went to college, I went to University of Illinois in Champaign-Urbana. I went on what's called like a pre-law track, and I basically majored in political science with a minor in business real estate in the School of Business at UIUC.
Yeah, wow, that's interesting. So you really come from a foundation of seeing live experience and growing from that. It sort of gave you some sort of direction, it sounds like.
Right, it did. It definitely did.
Yeah,
And then plus my father he dabbled a little bit in construction. He was a general contractor, just minor things. But also even it's, as silly as it sounds, even helping him like fixing things around the house or like helping other people fix things kind of got me. And I learned a lot about just the basics of construction, I guess, and how things work. And that kind of helped me in my future path when I ended up being developed into a construction attorney.
yeah, excellent. I love that. I love that. So now speaking about construction and being an attorney, can you tell me about your firm?
Sure. I've been licensed to practice since 2001. I had been working for a couple of different law firms, but the focus on those firms was in construction litigation,
Right.
basically ultimately helping contractors get paid for their hard work. That was sort of our tagline throughout the whole thing process. So we worked with a lot of subcontractors, material suppliers, ranging from like Fortune 500 companies down to small businesses. They come to us when they have payment issues or if there's accusations of like delay or design issues or defect issues, and would help resolve them. Um, so that was my experience up until 2015 when I decided I wanted to go off on my own and I started my law firm, Grzymala Law Offices, PC, we're a small law firm based in Skokie. I've got two other attorneys working with me. It's a great practice. And again, our focus is we are a commercial litigation firm, but our focus again is on construction law, representing clients in matters, not just on litigation end, but we also help with contract drafting and negotiation, mechanics liens on private and public projects, foreclosure actions, municipal code violations, sometimes collections for contractors, just straight up without any lien work or just straight up breach of contract actions. And then if anything comes up in bankruptcy court, we assist our clients with that as well. And again, with my current practice, our clients do range from the small business owner to the Fortune 500 company. And, we treat, our goal is to, get the best results we can for our clients and that our clients receive value for the work that we do.
That's excellent. That's excellent. It sounds like you put your heart and soul into everything you do because you're driven with that desire to help, which you touched on earlier. So that's very, very good to hear. What would you say differentiates your firm from another?
Again, I think it's our drive to give clients value for our services. Plus I'm crazy experienced with mechanics lien work. And mechanics lien is basically, let me just go into that briefly so you understand what we're talking about. When a contractor is not paid on a project, they have rights against and they've done improvements and they're not being paid by the owner or by the general contractor, they have a right against the property. And what they can do is file what's called a mechanics lien against the property that details the work performed, the balance due, who owes them the money, and it goes against that property's title. So if it's in the property's title, the owner cannot then sell the property, for instance, or refinance the property or otherwise convey it without resolving that lien claim. The owner can do something like bonding over it, for instance, but that's rare. And in most cases, the lien claim has to be resolved once push comes to shove. If there is no closing or anything or conveyance, then the contractor has a right to foreclose on the property. Sort of like with a mortgage, you don't pay your mortgage on time, the bank comes and files an action and takes your house away. Same thing with mechanics lien action. You can go ahead and foreclose on the property, have it sold at a sheriff's sale, and then you get the client would get the proceeds from that sale.
Right.
So what makes us different is that I guess I'm very experienced with mechanics lien work. We have a great blog on our website. We blog frequently on mechanics lien issues and construction issues. I'm a frequent speaker on construction law topics. I'm also a published author. I've drafted a couple chapters in the Illinois Construction Law Manual for West Publishing. I also present seminars and do other things too, to not just increase my knowledge of my work, but also to share what I know and to help contractors on every level that I can.
Excellent.
I'm also active in the construction community, whereas there was an organization called the Association of Subcontractors and Affiliates, which is the largest commercial subcontractor organization in the Chicagoland area. And I probably serve on the board of directors on that organization. So again, that I continue to develop I get to hear what's going on the ground in the business and on different projects, what's happening. And it helps me work better with my clients.
Absolutely, absolutely excellent. So speaking of clients, I know as an attorney that referrals and word of mouth is always your best source of attracting new clients, but of course it's not the only source. So what have you found to be the most effective marketing strategy for you?
That's a great question because I think ultimately you want to work up to that referral and repeat business. Um, and that takes some time though, right? It's not instant. Even though I had a good reputation when I started my firm, I was still pretty fresh. So at that time, and I still do this sometimes. I definitely went to a lot of marketing events, networking events rather. I joined different organizations, got on boards. Again, we have a really good website that has a wealth of information on it. And just obviously meeting other people for lunches and things, and just either prospective clients or other attorneys, because with my practice we're very specialized with this construction law rather, mechanics liens.
Yeah,
Most other attorneys don't handle this, so when they have an issue, I've got enough reputation, they contact us either for help or they refer their clients to us.
right,
So we kind of stand out where like we just focus just on that. We don't focus on any of the practice areas. We don't do like, criminal defense or divorce law, those are very important practices, but we just focus on our construction and we just try to be the best that we can at that. And
excellent.
as opposed to other marketing things, again, like blog posts, social media, but that kind of gets less and less as the firm grows, right? Because then at first you start off with all that stuff, the networking that becomes very important and all that. And then as you get your reputation, build up reputation, there's less of that and more of the referral source. At the
Right,
same time, though, you still need to keep in contact with people. You still need to go to networking events because there's still a lot of work that I put in and I don't want to lose those connections.
right.
Um, Another great marketing tool that we've launched recently in the past year is a monthly newsletter that
Mhm.
we send to like existing or former or prospective clients and other attorneys and other friends, and which is basically links to our articles on our website. And it's a good way to keep us top of mind to people because it goes out once a month, which I think is enough. It's not too obnoxious. I know sometimes people get sick of being bombarded with things, so we try to do it once a month. And I get a lot of compliments. I'm really surprised that people really like it. So
That's great. That's great. So I know that every firm runs into obstacles along the way, challenges. what have you found to be your biggest challenge along the way? You know, once you've gone out on your own, even though it's been quite a while now, and how did you overcome that?
Well, the biggest challenge is obviously taking that first jump and starting to hire people to work for you,
Yeah,
because you have to make sure you have enough work, you have enough capital, enough work to keep them busy, enough capital to obviously want to pay the people that work for you. Um, so that's always like a scary first step.
yeah,
And then also finding quality people that you work well with and that you have a good relationship with and you have good camaraderie with in the office, because it's still a small firm. It's just right now, it's just two of us in the office today. You know, we have to, we get along really well and everything, and
right.
that's always important.
That's,
Um, but that, yeah, that's always that was like my biggest hurdle. Another challenge too is just trying to keep things balanced where we're not overwhelmed with work. And because, if we have too much work, then we're not giving all the clients the proper attention. So if there's always a challenge of keeping a balance in the firm where we have, certain cases get resolved, get settled, or we go to trial, then we're finished with them. We also want to make sure we have new things coming in too, right? But then we can't just take everything, because then we get too overwhelmed. So that keeping that balance of things coming in and out is always is an ongoing challenge.
yeah, that makes perfect sense, perfect sense. You know, looking into the future, if I had that crystal ball and you can see down the road, what is your goal? What are your long-term plans for the firm?
So speaking of balance, I think I finally kind of found that balance. I'm doing pretty good with it. But I think eventually we might want to, expand a little bit, maybe bring on another attorney in the next 2, 3 years. But I'm not sure yet. Right now, we're pretty successful. Our clients are happy. We're getting good results. And again, we have a good balance with what's going on right now. And taking that other next step might, I just right now want to keep status quo.
Yeah, that's excellent, excellent. It's actually good to hear. Well, Mark, it's been such a pleasure listening and learning about you, your journey into law, your practice, everything that you have to offer and how you help your clients. So I want to thank you so much for sharing all of that with me today. And I have no doubt that you are going to have continued success.
Thank you, Laura. I appreciate the kind words. And it was a pleasure speaking with you this morning.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Best of success ahead.
Thank you. You too.